Have you ever faced this? You would have written pages and pages of notes, but then you never touch your notes for the rest of the year. So what's the point of even writing the notes? And also, after writing notes, you have a feeling of satisfaction, but only when it comes to our examinations, we realize what the quality of satisfaction was. In this video, I wanted to share my thoughts on note taking and why I feel to be useless and why I think there are other better methods than note taking. So let us dive straight into it. First of all, it is extremely time consuming. And also if you're someone like me who wants to write your notes somewhat neatly, like underline, use different colors, then it is definitely going to take more than the allotted time. We all are studying in this one concept only. We go through our lecture slide and then we take copious notes of it, and then we review our notes before exams and we pour out whatever we studied from our notes. So what if we cut off notes from this part? So we attend the lecture slides, but we review the lecture and then we go to our exam. So now we know the actual role of notes. Notes are actually a place for storing lots of information. It is not actually the place for learning, rather it is a place for storing information. Instead of fetching information from the lecture and turning into your own notes, that is your own storage bin, why don't we directly use the lecture as the storage bin and then go to the lecture again and again and utilize that storage bin and review the content. So now that we have realized the actual purpose of notes, we all have been doing this one mistake, that is we study notes and then reread the notes the whole time. This is an extremely passive process because you're literally just going through the notes, reading the text, and then you're going to the next line. Like most of the time, we're not even thinking about what we are reading, rather we're literally just absorbing the information. Yeah, now you're going to tell me that, no Rohit, whenever I study from notes, I feel more familiarized with the topic and I will still stick to the notes only. But well, you yourself told the answer, my friend, because it only makes you familiar to the notes. It doesn't actually put that information into your brain, rather it only familiarizes you to this topic. See, to understand something, you don't need to have the notes because we have just seen that notes are just a storage bin. You can rather actively recall and then space and then repeat your study at various intervals again and again. We humans have this one problem. We usually overestimate what we can do in one day, but then we underestimate what we can do in 1 year. So what you have to do is that try to repeat whatever you studied again and again. So at the end of the year, you are actually going to gain more than you expected. Literally, the skeleton of my current study framework is active recall, spaced repetition, and practice testing. There are innumerable evidences that note taking is extremely useless. It is one of the most lowest efficient techniques in this world. Highlighting, rereading, note taking is all useless. It is better to go with the various high efficient techniques like active recall, spaced repetition. What I do is that I directly make my own questions from a topic and then go through the questions that I made again and again. So one amazing app you can use for this is Notion. In Notion, you have this amazing feature of toggling. So you can create your question, and in case you want to have some answer, by clicking like this, you can immediately recheck, and this is a very easy way of doing active recall. So how do you replace notes? It is by this method. First you have to skim through the topic and then refer to the questions, because after referring to the questions, you will know what actually should be studied. I don't know about other fields, but definitely when it comes to MBBS, there is like overwhelming information, there is too much information, and I'm very sure that we don't have to be studying every single thing, right? There are only specific important things that we should be knowing. So go through the questions and understand what actually you should be studying, and then after studying, recall whatever you studied. You can recall this by writing out your own questions or by using flashcards. I mostly use flashcards only. Or you can also do this check and see method, where you will be writing whatever you remember at this moment on a piece of sheet, and then you will compare that with the actual lecture. So by this, you will get an understanding of where you have those memory gaps, and you can fill those memory gaps again and again. Yeah, now you will be saying that, no, recalling is really hard. It is really time consuming. Yeah, recalling is definitely hard because the information is actually degrading from your brain and you're trying to pull that information back. So it is definitely going to be hard. But it has been proven that more the cognitive effort, more the retention. So more the effort you put to pull an information, more you're telling your brain that, okay brain, this information is indeed important. So secure this within you. I might need this in the future. And I would like to tell you the sad reality. Have you got this feeling? After writing long notes, you feel really awesome. Like, oh, I have studied really well. I put a lot of efforts today. Have you ever felt it? Let me know in the comments down below. This can be explained by Dunning-Kruger Effect. It states that people with low ability at their task often overestimate their ability. What is the chance that you and me are not a part of these people? Like, we probably assume that we have studied a lot, but then when we see our grades, they don't seem to improve. So there should be a better way, right? There should be something that can replace note taking, and that's where active recall and spaced repetition comes. And also, it's not like I have been using zero notes till now. I am moving towards zero notes because since childhood, we have been taught to make notes only. So if you're writing really awesome notes, it means we are studying really good. So the childhood addiction is still continuing, but I'm slowly coming out of that addiction. Sometimes it feels like if I'm not writing notes, I'm usually afraid that I might lose the information. But trust me, I don't lose information because these various other active recall spaced repetition usually comes in handy. It is really good only. So what I would suggest to do is that I'm not asking you to skip notes completely. Just don't write notes for one single chapter. Try using active recall spaced repetition for that one single chapter and let me know if that helped you. I'm 100% sure it is going to do good for you because it has done good for me. To me, efficiency is not only about doing the right things, it is also about doing the things right. Honestly, I can't believe I came up with this, but yeah, trust me, I came up with this right now. Efficiency is not only about doing the right things, it is also about doing the things right. As always, thank you for watching. See you soon.